reaction is decomposition reaction. We have just talked about combination reaction where two or more different reactants combine to form a single product. This time it's the reverse, decomposition reaction, where a single reactant breaks into two or more simpler substances. We'll see some examples and elaborate this decomposition reaction. The first example over here which you see, we have talked about this example while balancing chemical equations also, where ferrous sulfate FeSO4 on heating gets converted into iron oxide, that is Fe2O3, and also forms two types of gases, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Now if you see this reaction carefully, a single reactant on heating being converted into two or more products. The first one is Fe2O3, the second is SO2 and third one is SO3. It means a single reactant is being broken into simpler substances like Fe2O3, SO2 and SO3 when heated. That is what decomposition reaction means. A single reactant being converted into two or more products when heated or applied with the conditions required. Now we have balanced this chemical equation earlier, so let us try to balance once again. If you see the left hand side, it contains only one iron atom, correct? Because stoichiometric coefficient of this particular compound is 1 as nothing has been written. Suffix is 1 as nothing has been written. So 1 into 1 means 1 atom of iron in LHS. Whereas if you see RHS, the first product contains iron, whereas the second and third product does not contain iron. The stoichiometric coefficient of this iron oxide is 1 as nothing has been written. Suffix of iron in this compound is 2. So 1 into 2 makes 2 atoms of iron in this product and also in RHS. Whereas 1 iron atom in LHS. So if I place 2 over here, then number of iron atoms in LHS now becomes 2 as in RHS. So number of iron atoms are now balanced. Correct? Now if we talk about the second element, that is sulfur in LHS, the single reactant FeSO4, the stoichiometric coefficient of this compound, this reactant, is now 2. Earlier it was 1, I have changed to. Why? Just to balance iron in LHS and RHS. So the stoichiometric coefficient of this compound now, this reactant now is 2. The suffix of sulfur in this compound is 1 as nothing has been written. So number of atoms of sulfur in this reactant will be 2 into 1, that is 2 atoms. Whereas if you see right hand side, the first product does not contain any sulfur, the second and third do contains. Now the stoichiometric coefficient of SO2 is 1 as nothing has been written, suffix is 1 as nothing has been written. So SO2 contains 1 into 1, that is 1 sulfur atom. Similarly, if we talk about SO3, stoichiometric coefficient of SO3 is 1 as nothing has been written, suffix is 1 as nothing has been written. So number of atoms of sulfur in this product is also 1. So number of sulfur atoms on right hand side are basically 2, and that is what in LHS also. So sulfur is already balanced. If we talk about oxygen, the number of atoms of oxygen will be 2 into 4. 2 is the stoichiometric coefficient of FeSO4 in LHS, and 4 is the suffix of oxygen in this particular single reactant. So number of atoms of oxygen in LHS is basically 2 into 4, that is 8. If you see the right hand side, all the product contains oxygen in their formula, correct? Now if you see the stoichiometric coefficient of Fe2O3 is 1, the suffix of oxygen is 3, it makes the number of oxygen atoms in Fe2O3 is 1 into 3, that is 3. The stoichiometric coefficient of SO2 is 1, suffix of oxygen is 2 in this particular molecule. So number of oxygen atoms in this molecule is 1 into 2, that is 2. Similarly, if you see SO3, the number of oxygen atoms in SO3 is 1 into 3, that is 3. So 3 plus 2 plus 3, that is 5 plus 3, that is 8. So number of oxygen atoms in RHS is also 8, and that is what in LHS also. So this reaction is completely balanced. Why? Because we have balanced the number of atoms of each element in LHS and RHS also. We have mentioned the states of each reactant, since this is a decomposition reaction and there should be only one reactant. So we have mentioned the physical state of that particular reactant also. We have mentioned the physical state of each product also, and we have mentioned the condition required for this reaction to occur also, that is the requirement of heat above the arrow, written above the arrow. Now, coming back to this type of chemical reaction, decomposition reaction, you can see that a single reactant gets converted into two or more. Here there are three products, two or more simpler substances or products. That is why this is called as decomposition reaction. Something is being decomposed, one thing being broken into two or more things. That is what decomposition means. If you talk about the second equation, what I have written here on the board, you can see calcium carbonate being converted into calcium oxide and CO2. Calcium carbonate, also known as limestone, calcium oxide, also known as quicklime. Now if you see this reaction, here also you can find that a single reactant is being converted into two different products. It is being decomposed. That particular substance has been split into two substances. That is what decomposition means, and that is why this reaction is called as decomposition reaction. Now if you try to balance this equation, you can see there are one calcium atom in LHS. Since the stoichiometric coefficient of CaCO3 is 1 and suffix of Ca in this compound is also 1, so number of atoms of calcium in LHS or this particular single reactant is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. If you see the right hand side, the stoichiometric coefficient of calcium is 1, correct? In calcium oxide, the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, the suffix is 1, so number of calcium atom in this particular product is 1, and since the second product does not contain any calcium, so number of calcium atom in right hand side is 1 and LHS is also 1. Calcium is already balanced. If we talk about carbon, number of carbon atoms in LHS is also 1. If you see the right hand side, the first product does not contain carbon, the second product do contains carbon. The stoichiometric coefficient of CO2 here is 1. The suffix of C in this CO2 is also 1. So number of carbon atom is also 1 into 1, that is 1. It means carbon is also balanced. If you see the oxygen, the stoichiometric coefficient of this single reactant, since we are studying about decomposition reaction, the stoichiometric coefficient of this reactant is 1. The suffix of oxygen in this molecule is 3. So number of oxygen atoms in LHS is 1 into 3, that is 3. If you see the right hand side, both the products contain oxygen. The stoichiometric coefficient of the first product is 1. The suffix of oxygen is also 1 in this product. It means number of oxygen atom in this product is 1. 1 into 1, that is 1. And if you see the second product, the stoichiometric coefficient of CO2 is 1. Suffix of oxygen is 2. It means oxygen atoms in this particular product is 1 into 2, that is 2. So 1 plus 2 makes 3 oxygen atoms in LHS. It means the reaction is already balanced, and we find that a single reactant being converted into two different products or a single substance being split into two products on applying heat. It means it is a decomposition reaction, and that is what we are trying to study. If you see the third reaction, this is lead nitrate, PbNO3 twice. This is lead nitrate. This is lead oxide, PbO, on the right hand side, product side, and along with PbO, NO2, that is nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen are also formed. If you see this reaction also, a single reactant on LHS is being converted into two or more simpler substances, also called as products in this reaction. That is lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. Correct? Now, is this reaction balanced? We'll try to balance this equation. If we talk about lead, we can see the stoichiometric coefficient of this single reactant, as we are studying decomposition reaction. The stoichiometric coefficient of this single reactant is 1, as nothing has been written there. Suffix is also 1, as nothing has been written in place of suffix of lead in this compound. So number of atoms of lead will be 1 into 1, that is 1 on LHS. Whereas if you see RHS, the first product itself contains lead, whereas this next two product does not contain lead. So if I have to calculate the number of atoms of lead, I have to see the first product only. The stoichiometric coefficient of lead oxide is 1, as nothing has been written there. Suffix is also 1, as nothing has been written there. So it means the atoms of lead, Pb, will be 1 into 1, that is 1 on right hand side. It means lead is balanced. Now if you talk about nitrogen, you can see that NO3 is being placed in a bracket and 2 has been placed as a suffix of this bracket. It means this 2 stands for nitrogen also, and this 2 stands for O3 also. So since the stoichiometric coefficient of this compound, this single reactant is 1, as we are studying, do not forget, as we are studying decomposition reaction, we will every time see a single reactant. Now, since the stoichiometric coefficient is 1 of this compound, suffix of nitrogen is 2, it means number of nitrogen atoms will be 1 into 2, that is 2. So, number of nitrogen atoms in LHS is 2. If we go on right hand side, you can see the middle product, that is the second product, only contains nitrogen. So the stoichiometric coefficient of NO2 is 1, since nothing has been written over here, and the suffix is also 1. So it means the number of nitrogen atoms in product side will be simply 1, where we have 2 nitrogen atoms in LHS. So if I place 2 here, then nitrogen gets balanced. Number of nitrogen will be now 2 in LHS and 2 in RHS also. Correct? Now let us talk about oxygen now. In this single reactant, as an example of decomposition reaction, we have one stoichiometric coefficient of lead nitrate PbNO3 twice, and 3 into 2, that is 6 as the suffix of oxygen. See, this O3 is repeated 2 times. It means O3, O3. The above O3 also contains 3 oxygen, and the below O3 also contains 3 oxygen. It means in total it has 6 oxygen, and since the stoichiometric coefficient is 1, so number of oxygen atoms in reactant side or LHS will be 1 into 6, that is 6. But if you see the right hand side, the first product, second product and third product all contains oxygen. So I will use all of them to calculate the number of oxygen atoms in RHS. The first one contains 1 oxygen atom. Why? Because the stoichiometric coefficient is 1 and the suffix is also 1. So number of atom in this first product is 1. If you talk about the second product, the stoichiometric coefficient now, since I have placed 2, is 2, and the suffix of oxygen in this compound is also 2, so it makes 4 oxygen atoms in this second product. And if you talk about the third product, it contains 2 oxygen atoms. Why? Because the stoichiometric coefficient of O2 is 1 and the suffix of oxygen in this molecule is 2, so 1 into 2 is 2. So the third product contains 2 oxygen atoms, the second product contains 4 oxygen atoms, and the first product contains 1 oxygen atom. It means it contains, the right hand side contains 1 plus 4 plus 2, that is 7 oxygen atoms, whereas the left hand side contains 6 oxygen atoms. Now the problem arises is left hand side has even number of oxygen atoms and right hand side has an odd number of oxygen atoms. So it means I have to again change the stoichiometric coefficient of this particular reactant and product also, and that will change the number of atoms of lead also and nitrogen also, and then only I can balance oxygen atoms in LHS and RHS also. Suppose if I place 2 over here, do not forget, since we are trying to balance this equation using hit and trial method, also known as error and trial method, we are free to place any number as stoichiometric coefficient of reactant and products in order to balance the atoms of each element. So suppose if I place 2 over here, number of lead atoms in LHS will become now 2, and since we have only 1 lead atom in right hand side, I have to place 2 over here also. Correct? So it makes lead balanced. The number of lead atoms, Pb atoms in LHS is 2, and that is what in RHS also. Now if we talk about nitrogen, the suffix of nitrogen in this molecule is 2, whereas the stoichiometric coefficient of this reactant now it will be 2. So number of nitrogen atoms are 2 into 2, that is 4. Whereas if you see this second product, that only contains nitrogen, the first and the third product does not contain nitrogen. It means I have to again change the stoichiometric coefficient of NO2. Since I am bound, I am constrained, I cannot change the suffix. Do remember, I have explained it many times. You are bound, you are constrained, you cannot change the suffix, you can only change the stoichiometric coefficient. But since now I have 4 nitrogen atoms in LHS and I have 2 nitrogen atoms in RHS, the middle product only contains nitrogen, so I have 2 nitrogen atoms in RHS. I have to again remove this 2 and place 4 over here in order to balance nitrogen atoms. Now nitrogen 4 in LHS, nitrogen atoms 4 in RHS also. Now we come again to oxygen atom and see whether it is balanced now or not, or we again have to hit another number in LHS and RHS also. Try another number in LHS and RHS also in order to balance the three elements. If you see the LHS, the only reactant, since again I'll tell you, we are studying decomposition reaction, and in decomposition reaction you should have only one single reactant and n number of products can be there, more than 2. We have number of nitrogen atoms as 2 into 2, that is 4. We have 4 nitrogen here also. Now if you come to oxygen atoms, the suffix of oxygen is 6. It has not been changed, since you cannot change. Suffix of oxygen here it is 6, that is 3 into 2, correct? And now the stoichiometric coefficient is 2. So number of oxygen atoms in LHS becomes 2 into 6, that is 12. Now let us see whether in RHS there are 12 oxygen atoms or not. Then if it does not come out to be 12, we have to change the stoichiometric coefficient again. See, there are 2 oxygen atoms in the first product. 2 is the stoichiometric coefficient of PbO. 1 is the suffix of oxygen in this compound, since nothing has been written, so it will be 1 only. 2 into 1, that is 2. 2 oxygen atoms in the first product. 4 into 2, 8 oxygen atom in the second product, and 1 into 2, 2 oxygen atom in the third product. So it means 2 plus 8, that is 10. 10 plus 2 means 12. So finally we have 12 oxygen atoms in RHS also, 12 oxygen atoms in LHS also. Now since lead nitrate exists in a solid form, I will mention its physical state as S in the suffix, and also write heat over here, since this decomposition also requires heat for converting lead nitrate into simpler products, lead oxide, nitrogen oxide and oxygen. So this is now a complete balanced equation where you can see a single reactant, as we are trying to study decomposition reaction, a single reactant being converted into simpler substances or 2 or more substances, that is lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen.
Choose the right kindergarten, a right bag, and matching bottle to go with. The right school, the right friends. Choose the right subjects and score well. Be an expert in all. The right teacher, and make sure that they like you. Choose the right timing, the right bus, and take a cab if getting late. The right train, and don't stand near the gates. Mind the pockets. Better get into ladies' compartment. Make sure your mustache hasn't started coming. Choose the right study time and forget games, IPL, IHL, rock and metal, guitar, X. The right group, and be a model to your brother. Seriously. Choose the right syllabus, the right test paper. Keep guessing questions for exams. Choose the right branch, the right college, the right stream. Choose the right career. Lucky to have a father's business to take care of and a father to allow that. The right counselor, the right form, and make sure the project is submitted on time. Choose the right website and rely on your friends for more information. Oblivious of the sites they have been to, there is no end to your woes. Getting better with every step you climb up the ladder. The summer vacation shorter, the bucket list bigger. The night darker, the books heavier. The only light you have is your friends ahead of you. Probably he is right. Ever thought how he got the direction? No more spending your energy and money on coaching classes. No more missing classes for rain, rally and nonsense. Get your interest back in subjects through our creative ways of teaching. Doubts, concepts, applications, all explained through one vibrant animation. Subjects covered by multiple teachers with repeat telecasts. Special programs only for basic foundation and paper analysis. Personality development, career counseling, admissions, hobbies, all covered. A new approach to study with long-term perspective. So sit back comfortably in your homes and watch Study Spectrum TV channel.
example of decomposition reactions, that is AgCl being converted into Ag and Cl2. Ag means silver. Now here also if you see, there is only one reactant and it is being converted into two different products. It means a single substance being split into two or more substances. Here there are only two substances. So let us try to balance this equation first. If you see AgCl, that is the only reactant, since we are studying about decomposition reaction, that is the only reactant present in LHS. The stoichiometric coefficient of silver in this compound is of AgCl is 1. The suffix of silver in this compound is also 1, as nothing has been written over here. So it means the number of atoms of silver in AgCl will be 1 into 1 in LHS, that is 1. If you talk about RHS, the second product does not contain silver, Ag, whereas the first product contains Ag. Stoichiometric coefficient of this element is 1, suffix is also 1, that means the number of atoms of Ag here is 1. So Ag is already balanced. If you talk about chlorine, the stoichiometric coefficient of AgCl is 1, the suffix of Cl in AgCl is 1, so number of atoms of chlorine will be 1 into 1, that is 1 in LHS. Whereas if you talk about RHS, the second product only contains chlorine. Stoichiometric coefficient of Cl2 is 1, as nothing has been written there. Suffix of chlorine in this molecule is 2, so number of atoms of chlorine is 1 into 2, that is 2. So we have to balance chlorine in LHS and RHS. If I place 2 here as the new stoichiometric coefficient of the only reactant AgCl, then I can see that in RHS there are 2 chlorine atoms and in LHS now there are 2 chlorine atoms. So chlorine is balanced. But a new problem has arisen, that is number of silver atoms in LHS is now 2, because the new stoichiometric coefficient of AgCl is 2, suffix will remain same as 1. So 2 into 1 of silver will be 2. So number of atoms of silver in LHS is now 2, whereas number of atoms in RHS is still the same 1. So if I place 2 over here, number of atoms of silver will now become 2 in RHS also. So number of atoms of silver in LHS 2, number of atoms of silver in RHS 2. Number of atoms of chlorine in LHS 2, number of atoms of chlorine in RHS also 2. So the reaction is balanced. But the point to be noted is, this reaction requires sunlight to proceed. It means if you place white powdery form of AgCl into a plate and expose it to sunlight, it will convert into a grey color substance, that is silver, and will liberate chlorine gas. So it means sunlight is the requirement for this reactant to decompose into two new products, that is silver and chlorine. So this is an example of decomposition reaction. Similarly, if you see AgBr, all what is different in AgCl reaction, what we have seen just now, and this reaction of AgBr, the only difference is the halogen has changed. The above one contains chlorine, the below one contains bromine. The last reaction which you can see is AgBr being converted into Ag and Br2. Both the reactions are of same type. It contains chlorine, it contains bromine. So for balancing, I can simply place 2 over here and 2 over here to balance the equation. This reaction also requires sunlight to proceed, and here also you can see that this particular single reactant is being converted into two substances, that is silver and bromine gas. This chlorine was also in gas form, this bromine is also in gas form. So in all these reactions which you see, every time a single reactant is being broken or being converted into simpler substances, 2 or more simpler substances rather. So this is decomposition reaction. Also, we have learned about exothermic reactions. We should know about endothermic reactions. There are several reactions which require energy, and those reactions are called as endothermic reactions. While talking about exothermic reactions, we have learned that if in a reaction along with the products energy is released, heat is released, then those reactions are called as exothermic reactions. In endothermic reactions require heat to move further. So in those reactions where reactants require energy to form products are called as endothermic reactions. We'll try to elaborate those reactions also.